I'm Weaponeer, and this video is going to be talking about stocks. And the stock I'm going to be talking about is a new wood stock I'm offering on my website. Now, I don't know, some of the people that see my videos don't realize that I also have a weapon website. It's weaponeer.net. That's how I get the name. And basically, it caters to the home builder, the gunsmith, and the C2. So it's all about gun building and things like that. And I sell a lot of hard to obtain parts. One of the questions I got frequently was, what about, what type of stock was I using on my Saiga 12 shotgun? And my Saiga 12 shotgun has been in a number of videos. And I always told people that it was a SVD stock, a Dragunov. Now, everybody asked where I got it, and I looked around, and you can't really get them too much anymore. They're really hard to obtain. I got mine years ago, and it's direct bolt on. There's no modification required. SVD stock just bolts right on the Saiga, on the rifle, or the shotgun, and you're done. And it's a nice design because it doesn't have a separate pistol grip, which is more cool. And if you want it to look like a big AK, so you're safe that way. But the SVD style does have a lot of other benefits. Cheek rest. On the SVD stock, you've got a rotating cheek rest, so you can rotate it in and rest your cheek on it, or you can rotate it away. The reason you did that is because on the SVD you had, you've got your iron sight and you've got your optics. And the optics you use from 300 on out to like 15, and you use your iron sights for 0 to 300. Most people don't realize it. That's why you have that. The scope on the SVD is, or on the PSL, is offset a little bit more than you would normally see on other AKs. Now, since we couldn't get any more of the standard SVD stocks, and also that the SVD stocks made in Russia didn't work for 922R. 922R requires a certain number of US-made parts on any weapon, any shotgun or rifle, that you change from its original appearance to something like the AK. So anytime you do that, and then you're required to do the 922R. Look it up. Now, because a lot of people were asking where I got the stocks, and they no longer existed there, you can still find them if you look around, but it wasn't making any sense because they were, the prices went way up on them and availability went way down. What we did is we started offering a new stock, and this new stock fits both the Saiga 12 or Saiga shotguns as well as the Saiga rifles. Not necessarily 12 gauge, but anything that fits on a Saiga, whether it be a rifle or shotgun, this is going to work. And basically what we did is we offered a Saiga, we offered a SVD, not Saiga, SVD style stock, US made, and it's wood. And this is it right here. This is the same style as the SVD. As you can see, it's slightly longer, and that's because all SVD and AKs and stuff like that are, their stocks are shorter, and that's not because they got shorter arms or anything. It's not like they're got T-Rex arms or something like that. It's just that when the AK was first put out, between 47 and 57, when it turned from the AK-47 to the AKM, what they did is they had really short stocks. And the short stocks is because of the winter clothing. Back then, the winter clothing was rather thick, and very thick and bulky. So if you had a rifle that worked perfectly in the summer, during the winter time, it could be 4 inches or so off. So you'd be shooting way up here, and you just can't get a good sight picture or anything like that. So what they did is they just made the stock short. So during the summertime, you ended up with a short stock, but the winter time, it fit perfectly. So that's why you had the differences. All the AKs and stuff like that are so short. That's the reason. This right here is a little bit longer for the Americans, and it works out beautifully. This is an unfinished stock as far as I know. It takes finish very nicely. This right here is a walnut finish from Beechwood Casey. That one. The stuff right here, the simple stuff you can get. I started using this stuff 27 years ago, and it's fun that it's still around and it's still the same. Matter of fact, they made it better. Now the wood stain, without the walnut stain, works out beautifully. It has a nice walnut looking stain to it, and it's not as dark as I thought it was going to be. You can make it darker by letting it sit on there and more layers and stuff, but just a single coat makes it look about like that. And then I used Birchwood Casey True Oil, and I put that on there, and that ended up going from that to that. And this is beautiful. You can't see it from there, but this has a beautiful tone to it, and it just, the way it makes the colors stand out is beautiful. And I'm going to be using the True Oil on mine. Now when it comes to any AK or Saiga, whether it's rifle or shotgun, there's a lot of manufacturing tolerances that are in these weapons, and it's just the way it is. I'm sure that they're a lot better right now than when they were in 47, but basically the whole process is basically the same. They had a lot of machining tolerances, and what that caused is every time you tried to fit a stock on there, well, you could end up fitting perfectly, or it could be a little tight or a little loose. So if you went ahead and built a one-size-fits-all stock, and it's supposed to fit both rifle and shotgun, you could end up with a little fitting required. And the reason I say that is this right here, well, you unbolt your old stock, and this comes with the new screws and everything else. You bolt it right up, and like this, it'll work just fine. But I highly suggest that you, right here in this section where you've got the two screws, make sure that when you fit your stock, when you bolt it on there, that you don't have a big gap like this. Now mine's not perfectly tight. I can go ahead and snug it up quite a little bit more, and it would probably take care of another quarter of the gap that's there right now. But if I relieve some of the wood right here just a little bit, that gap would disappear and this thing would just fit perfectly. And the reason that this one doesn't is because, well, if you go ahead and you make it fit perfectly on my shotgun, it probably won't fit perfectly on yours. And the worst thing around is having a loose shotgun stock. You never want a loose one. It's okay to have a tight one and have a gap. You can always go ahead and do a little extra fitting, and we're talking very, very, very minor stuff here. If you want to do a little extra fitting right there, not on the steel but on the wood, it's going to go ahead and bring it typed up against the receiver, and it's going to look and feel perfect. I'm going to get closer to the camera so you can see the gap. I do not know if this same gap is going to be here for the rifle. I don't have a Saiga rifle, but right here, just right above actually, right there is the gap. Now I changed my lighting again, and I know I shouldn't have, but I wanted more balanced lighting, and so because of that I can't get really close. But I'm going to try to fix that in there, and you'll be able to see a little bit better. But right there's the gap. Now, like I said, it's an easy thing to fix if you want to fix it. If you're the perfectionist, like a lot of other guys, you're going to go ahead and take the 5 minutes to go ahead and make it so it fits perfect on your shotgun, and you're not going to have to worry about it. Like I said, you can do it, or you can just go ahead and ignore it. Either way, it doesn't matter. Function-wise, this thing functions perfectly, and when I say that, you know, it's nice to have a good stock to grip, whether it be this has the built-on pistol grip. On mine, I intend to relieve it a little bit right here, so I have a little bit. I got fairly good-sized hands, at least one, and I'm going to try to relieve this area out here, and I'm considering doing some grooves in there for fingers. And that right there would customize my stock a little bit nicer. After that, it's basically perfect. Like I said, this is slightly longer, so it's perfect. The cheek piece on this one right here, you have these two little screws, and basically it's just finger tight. It's got one here and one here. You loosen them both up, and you can rise or lower this cheek rest. Now, I've got mine tight, and I've got mine set perfectly right here, because when I bring this shotgun up and put my cheek on there, as soon as my cheek touches to the rest, I am perfectly set up for a co-witness of the front and rear sight, as well as with the red dot. So just by putting my cheek on there, I'm automatically set up perfectly. I don't have to go ahead and look around. Now, one of the things you want to do is have your cheek set up like that, because if you have your cheek on the same spot every time, it's consistency. And the more consistent you are, the better you're going to shoot. And it's going to take less time for you to go ahead and make a shot. So that's why I like this type of cheek rest. On the SVD, it just rotated in and out. It didn't go up. On this one here, it does go up or down. And it is a soft rubbery material. It's got a nice little textured finish on it. It's the same finish that's on the buttstock. Really nice and comfortable. The other thing is this opening right here. That opening right there is for your sling. This right here needs a small steel dowel to be, just a small rod. Just push through there and it'll go ahead and lock in there. I don't know if they're going to be available or not. I will check. But there you go. Like I said, just 2 screws to put it on. You take your old stock off and you put the new ones on, and you're all ready. It performed perfectly for me when I shot this with the SVD stock. It worked out beautifully. I didn't have any problems at all. Matter of fact, I shot really good. I was kind of surprised. It was the first time shooting kind of competition with the shotgun at the DPMS shoot. And I plan on going out there again, but this time I'm going to do it with the nice wood stock. And the wood stock it's a lot more comfortable. It's warmer. It's much more smooth. Wood's just so much more classy than whether it be some kind of plastic or beat up plastic, I should say. And this is, like I said, all these parts are going to be US made. This one here is US made. So it counts for a 922R. Anytime you go ahead and you change your, whether it be the rifle or shotgun from the stock configuration, then you got to worry about 922R, which has a certain amount of US parts that need to be placed on that rifle. So if you remove a stock, you might have to go ahead and use a US made stock. Not necessarily a US made stock. You can do other parts, but you get the idea. So there you go. That right there is is my Saiga 12 with the SVD style wood buttstock. I will also be putting up a video. I'm going to do 3 more videos. One video is on the Saiga rifle forearm, beautifully done. And I'm going to have another video for Russian pistol grips, wood pistol grips, US made. And also a video on Yugo wood US made pistol grips. And beautiful. And there's 2 different types of wood. So I'll get into that at that point. So any comments or questions on this kind of stock, feel free to leave it below. And as you know, I'll go ahead and I'll place the link to how to purchase one of these or get more information or whatever you want. And Weaponeer.net is a member website, but membership is free, so you don't have to worry about anything about that. You don't have to be a member to even go ahead and purchase anything. The purchasing is just for harder to obtain gun parts. That is more common in the gun builder, gunsmith, C2 field. So feel free to check it out. And like I said, any comments or questions, leave it below. Don't forget to rate. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Weaponeer, and I'll catch you in the next video. What you want? Come on.